with that, it's time for us to move on to the next segment, which is called
Rapid Bias.
Oh my gosh.
In this segment, I'll be asking my guests biased questions that they've got asked at some point in life. So, Sarah, are you ready for all the tough questions coming your way?
Yes, I have like side eye.
You're also well trained for this, so
Am I?
I guess you you can tell us about that. So, first question, Sarah.
Okay.
This is coming from mostly men. Why would women need a community? Don't they have husbands?
I remember being asked this question the moment I was asked what I did. And when I said I founded a community called Women of Hong Kong, and when they said, what was that? I simply answered back, it's a free network for women to connect and meet each other so we could provide support for each other. And that's why that question came about. When he asked me that, why would women need a community when they have husbands, I can honestly tell you that I didn't know what to say. I said because women have other needs. I recall saying that, and they're like what? And I'm like, a sense of community, a sense of belonging. And oh my God, his next answer was, but women belong in the kitchen. So where else would I know? Your face. So let's just say it was a 25-minute long conversation, and my first experience at a conversation that was really leading towards patriarchy.
Okay.
And I finally understood why I had to keep going with Women of Hong Kong.
And you managed to put up 25 minutes of it.
Yes, because I responded with a lot of logic, which I was very proud of. Even though it triggered me, I was proud of myself for exercising a sense of self-awareness that maybe he's just uneducated and this is a great opportunity to break it down for him. And it's up to him if he wants to change his mind or not. I'm not here to change people's minds. I'm here to answer your questions.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And I don't know if you agree, like, I mean, when it comes to like women's communities, like, I mean, the it's not really to shut out the men also.
No.
I think they should very much be a part of the conversation.
Absolutely. Like, this isn't about women are better than men or that this is the world is for women. It's not that. It's understanding that men have different traits and skills and women also have different traits and skills. And with that said, men have specific needs, but so do women.
Exactly.
Right now, women's needs are a little bit more expanded, and not everyone can deliver that need. Therefore, only women know what women really need. And that's not a bad thing. It's a safe space for us to continue building so we can continue to operate with each other. You know, yin and yang, or like,
Yes.
you know, just
Need
north-
balance.
Exactly. Like we need a sense of balance. So what men need isn't exactly what women need either.
Absolutely. Yeah. And sometimes it's not even about equality because, like, I don't ever think, I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I don't think men and women can ever become equal.
No,
But
I agree.
This is why equity is
Yes.
more important. It's to
Yes.
understand both genders are coming from like different starting points.
Yes.
They have different sets of challenges. And
Yes.
sometimes women are being challenged, you know, with a perception of like, oh, they belong in the kitchen. Or like
Yes.
even for working women during COVID, a lot of studies documenting that like they are still expected to take care of, you know, like home chores,
Yes,
you know,
yes,
caring
yes.
for elderly and children despite they are still working full time.
Yeah, the expectation right now is not really an even playing field, but you're right. It's also not really about equality. It is about equity. Not many people explore that word. Equity, it's imagine having like a piece of pie, right? And you try equality is cutting it all the same size. But what equity means is maybe somebody's allergic to an ingredient in the pie, so you have to give them a different type of pie, right? But you don't exclude them just because they're allergic. You have to try to find a way to make it work for them.
Yeah.
So equity really is trying to cater to people that need it more than, oh, but this is what you get and this is also what you get because that's what the
everyone
other
gets the
person.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
So I love that you brought that up.
Not
a
you
lot
put
of
it
people.
beautifully as well. The pie analogy, I love that. And all right, going back to the difficult question, Sarah.
Okay, let's go.
Second question. Oh, you are the founder.
Oh God.
After scanning the room filled with expats looking for who they would perceive as the founder of such a successful community.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't understand it too much. I guess I get it.
It goes back to that, like, you don't look like a founder.
No.
You don't look like you're that
I'm
successful.
not. Yeah,
right?
I assume it's because I'm Filipino, or I'm not your generic successful leader by image. And by history, I'm not that either. I don't have much to say about that except here it is. Here's what I really want to say about that. It's that let's not judge people's capabilities based on how they look. You'd be so surprised at how many capable people there are and what they can achieve. An example for me is most people treat domestic workers as if all they can do is cook and clean. But oh my gosh, you'd be so surprised at how many of them hold diplomas or know how to create a 3D mapping for interior design, or are amazing chefs, not just for your family, but they know how to create recipes. They're extremely resourceful. Some of them are amazing with math, but the default thinking of when you see a migrant worker is they're just here to cook and clean. The reason that that's the ceiling above them, that's where the limit is because not enough of us is going like, hey, she looks like she could do XYZ. So much more, right? Give them opportunities. Give them a shot. Don't just think they don't know how to use a computer. They're people. They're women that have raised children. They have gone out of their comfort zone to migrate to a whole new territory just to create a life for their family. And you're telling me you think they're not capable? They are one of the most surprising groups of people you could ever meet. They have so much joy to give. For me, sometimes I'm like, when you look at me and you think I don't look like a leader, that's fine. But I really, really want to challenge people, the audience listeners, change your perspective about who you're looking at, because you never know who has something up their sleeve. You never know who's the next Einstein or the person to come up with something insanely innovative. You just got to give people a shot.
Wow. You can drop the mic now.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That
My mom, I guess why I'm so passionate about it is because my mom was a migrant worker, and a lot of people don't know that. I am the first of my family to be born outside of Hong Kong, because my mom took a shot and said, I'm going to work overseas. And because her employers was so kind to her, treated her with just a basic decency, she flourished. Imagine how many other Sarahs could have been born from migrant workers and is potentially helping try to impact in various ways. I'm not saying I'm a hero, but I think I'm not doing a bad job at helping people. But imagine how many more of us would be there if you just said to your auntie when you went home and really ask her, hey, how are you really doing? Are you okay? And not just be like, how was your day? And then just dismiss her. Ask her, is everything all right? Look at them like people.
Yes. And I remember, I wasn't sure if it was your IG or like someone's social media account. I remember seeing this quote saying, trust people who trust you.
Yeah. I love that quote too. Because you have to believe that people also have your best interest. Learn the power of discerning if people don't have that. But by default, you have to have a positive perspective in life to achieve good things. Because if you're always on the defense, then
yeah.
you
And I
really
mean, the
won't see.
reality is like not everyone's going to see that in you, and this is why you should focus on people who do.
Yes.
Yeah. So, which is why, I mean, you created such a beautiful community where like everyone's kind of trying to do that for each other.
Yeah.
But we're not done with rapid bias yet. So
I love how we're going to these questions all funny and stuff, and then we just like dive into. Sorry, I just had so much passion about answering that.
Absolutely, I love that. I love that. I mean, these are funny and very like uninformed, stupid questions.
Very real. Very real.
Yeah, I can tell. Like, I mean, the next one is, I guess, a lot can relate to this one. You look tired.
Oh my God.
And by the way, you don't today, despite you had a long day.
You. I think there's some questions that people don't mean harm, but because of society's way of creating conversations for the sake of conversations, have you had those feelings where people just ask you the most randomest but repetitive questions for the sake of filling the air with conversation?
Oh my God.
Almost like they're afraid to have silence. I used to be this person. I used to, let's grab coffee, and like you never do. But you just say it because it's what people say.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always like, please exercise self-awareness even in conversation. You don't have to always ask the default questions. So yeah, that you look tired. I believe they don't mean harm with it, but if you're listening, please remove that from your sentence structure of default things to ask or say. It's never nice. No. Nobody feels
If you put
great.
that through Google Translate, it translates to you look ugly.
Yeah. You don't look well kept. And even if they do, you could just be like, hey, do you need a break? That's okay. Hey, do you need a moment? If you're talking to your staff or your team,
that's better.
If you're talking to a stranger or someone you haven't seen in a while, please don't say that.
Oh dear. Yeah.
I basically responded and I said, actually, I think I look really good today. And they were baffled. They're like,
I'm actually surprised you don't look tired, Sarah, given how much you do.
Shout out to Benefit Cosmetics. Their concealer is amazing.
Oh my God. I was about to ask like all about your like makeup products, and we're gonna ask about that after.
Really? I'm ready. I'm ready.
Next up, this is related to your situation back when you were 21 and a single parent. Like people would have questions like, oh, where's the husband from? You know, where's the father? What happened? Or, wow, you look so young. You don't look like a mother.
Yeah, I got a lot of that. For the audience that don't know, I had my son at the age of 21, became a single parent, and honestly, life threw me a lot of curveballs. But I think those questions were difficult for me to answer because I didn't know that you're not supposed to ask that. So I would just giggle. I don't know where he is either. But again, if you're listening, try not to ask a single parent that question. It's already uncomfortable. They also might not know. And even if they do, it's not your business. That's the advice I give. I think it's the same as just asking those really odd questions on a random day. As we were saying previously, we have default questions or statements we just throw out there to fill the air. Like if you're at a family reunion, you get the, when are you getting married? Like, it's not your business. Auntie, when are you getting divorced? Right?
I love that. It's almost Lunar New Year.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I can already see the family reunions or the
God.
Christmas dinner, the conversations about like, so when are you having your next child? Like,
Ooh.
I think there's just a part of us that, again, is hardwired into filling the air with questions. But let's use this season, the start of this year, to exercise not being so nosy and only ask questions because we're genuinely interested.
Yeah. Like, just be mindful. I mean, I guess it's really hard to kind of like put out a guide as in like what questions to ask and not to ask. But I think the general, like principle is that don't come with an attitude as if you deserve an answer.
Yes, the entitled heir.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And next question, Sarah.
Okay.
You don't look depressed.
Oh, that was hard for me. I was going into a panel, a live panel, and I was disclosing behind the scenes before the panel started how I was going through a lot because one of the speakers had asked me, "How are you?" And I was tired that day, and I decided to be honest. I'm going through a lot and I'm feeling really depressed. I'm going through depression. She's like, "You don't look depressed." I'm like,
What is depressed?
I mean, we're
supposed to look
lady,
like?
we're about to go on panel. That's why I have hair and makeup. Like, I guess it's one of those questions again, right? Like, you just gotta stop asking or saying the statements. You don't look depressed. You don't look like a mom. You don't look like this. You don't look like that. What does any of that even look like?
Exactly.
What does a mom look like? I'm a mom, and then people say you don't look like a mom. Again, harmless statement, but we gotta eradicate that from our list of default responses. And you don't look depressed, you might hurt someone that's really mentally going through something difficult. So,
Just
bite
let
back your
people
tongue.
be what they are.
Yes. If you ever hear someone say, "I'm going through depression," or "I feel depressed," you do not, I repeat, you do not have to solve their problem in that moment. All you got to do is say, "I hear you. That's okay." And if you have the ability to create space for them, you say, "I'm here if you want to talk." You don't have to make the statement, "You don't look depressed,"
Yeah.
because there's no look for depression.
No, I
No.
agree. That was a powerful statement.
It's like, oh my
We
God.
still have one more to go.
Let's go. Let's go.
And finally, you're Filipino. I love adobo.
Oh.
I love adobo though.
I do love adobo, but I find it odd. When
I'm surprised they know adobo.
I think it's the default food. It's a default food on the dictionary of things to know about Filipino food. So I get that, but I don't know what to say. And now I'm just responding back. Like if they're of Southeast Asian descent, then I'll respond to the food that is from their country too. And then they make a face like, "Oh." And I'm like, "Yeah, sir. I like Thai food too." That's funny because I think it's their bid of trying to connect with you, right? And then that's okay. Again, harmless, but a little off-putting because I am more than just the cuisine of my country. And I could be vegetarian. So.
True. But the beauty of adobo is you can make
That's right.
veggie adobo.
You can make veggie, but please don't do that. Please don't do that. It is made with meat.
So it's a no-go.
It's a no-go. It's a no-dobo.
Okay, good to know. Well, we got through all the rapid bias questions. Congratulations.
I need more. That was not enough. I'm ready.
You need to come back.